Good evening, class. Thank you all for joining to this session today. We are going to look at the unit of competence, manage guest experience. And today we are going to look at handling special guest requests in regards to housekeeping. I hope all of you can see my screen. I want to share some information there so that we can go through it. If it's ready, we can start. The learning outcomes of the day are the first one is we define terms in regards to handling special guests and requests. The second learning outcome is factors to consider when handling special guest requests. And our last learning outcome for today is procedure for handling special guest requests. Who can tell us some of the what we mean by when we say special guest request? Yes, Cecily. Yeah, thank you. That's very good. It means an additional or a personalized service that a guest will request when they are on board in our facilities. So we can go through some of the common types of special guest requests. An example could be room preference. A guest could request a room and they request that they have extra pillows. They have a certain specific view that is not normal or not the original one that they are used to. They can, we have the people who are able differently. They can ask for accessibility of their wheelchairs and accessible bathrooms or showers which have grab chairs so that when they are showering they don't have to strain. Then we have the guests who can ask for health and safety requests. They can ask for hypoallergenic linens because they are allergic to some detergents that we use. Another common type of request, special request that we have is when our guests are celebrating celebration or romantic requests, flower decoration, special arrangements for anniversaries, birthdays, or room setup. We also have our guests who have pets. They can request to have pet beds, poles, or cleaning solutions. So these are some of the examples of the special requests that our guest could ask from us. So I would like us to go to the second learning outcome, which is factors to consider when handling this special guest request. I know this is not something new to you. I expect you to give me some of the factors before I give my input. Anybody? Factors to consider when handling special guest requests. Yes, Cecily? Yes, very good. We have to consider if the request that the guest is making is doable or it can be worked on according to the standard of our establishment. Good. Another one? Anybody with another point? Yes, Cecily again. Yes, we have guest preferences and needs. This means that what the guest or the profile of the guests or the status that the guest hold in society. Thank you. Anybody else with another point? To save on time, I will take you through some of the factors that I have. And the first factor is timelessness and responsiveness. Proactive planning, plan ahead to accommodate requests, especially for we look at how urgent is this request made, and we also look at the flexibility and adaptability. Are we able to deliver what this guest wants and in the manner that they want? We can also have another point is the urgency. How what time did these guests put put the order or request the service to be given unto them? Yeah. Anybody else with another point before we go to the next learning outcome? Yeah, another point is we can look at the costs. We have budgets that each one of us are working with. So we have to look at the cost of the guest and also the cost that is going to be incurred by the establishment or the hotel. Next, we are going to the next learning outcome, which is the procedure of handling guests, special guest request. I hope my screen is visible on your side. So as you can see, the first step is you receive the request. This means that you listen carefully to what the guest is requesting and into the you consider the details. You take note of what the guest is asking. This you listen to the specifics, then you document the request. Then after documenting, you task assignment. In task assignment, it means that when you are handling this, you not only need to work with one department, sometimes it calls us to work with different departments. So you have to explain to them clearly what the guest wants and ensure that it is doable. Then you plan for it. After that, you complete the fourth point is completion of request. You execute the request. If it's the room that the guest had requested to be decorated in a certain way, you do it to the expectations. Then the guests come, they experience the service. Then after they have had the whole experience, you follow up, which is point number 5. You follow up. Is the guest satisfied with what you had offered to them? And if there is anything that you need to improve on, they need to tell you. And this is on the feedback point. Then the last point is documentation for future reference or for accountability purposes. Yeah, thank you. Then I would like us to recap what we have learned today. So, anybody who can tell us what we have learned today before we close the lesson, the session? Anybody, as you are brainstorming, there is an assignment for you. I hope it is visible in your screen. That is the assignment. I expect you to bring it in our next class. In groups, discuss challenges faced when handling special guest requests. On to my question, what have we learned today? Yes, Ceciline, that's good. And to sum it all up, we should strive to not only meet the expectations of the guests, but also to exceed the expectations of the guests so that we can have them next time to our establishment. So, thank you for listening to me. Ensure you do the assignment as so that you can submit it the next session we meet. Thank you. Any question is welcome before we close the session. Do you have any questions for me? Okay. Okay, thank you. See you next time. Eh?